Welcome back to my channel. This is Asha Mahi, and today we are going to see a very important topic, that is polar plot. And in my previous video you have seen the introduction of a polar plot. Okay, and this video you will be seeing the real-time sum of a polar plot, how we will be drawing the polar plot for a given transfer function. Okay, so I have taken this sum. Okay, and the transfer function given is g of s is equal to 20 by s into s plus 1 into s plus 2. Okay, so this was the given transfer function. Okay, and he asked to sketch the polar plot for this. So the initial thing what we need to do is we need to see how many poles are there. Okay, we already know numerator contains zeros and denominator contains the poles. So how many poles are there? We have s equal to 0 and s plus 1 implies equal to 0 implies s is equal to minus 1. S plus 2 equal to 0 implies s equal to minus 2. So we have three poles. What are they? 0, minus 1, minus 2. Okay, and now we need to see how many poles are there at the origin. There is one pole at the origin. So this is a type 1 system. As I said before, type 1, because we have only one pole at the origin. Okay, now we need to see what is an order of a system. So order comes from the highest degree of s. S into s into s, s into s plus 1 to s plus 2. So definitely it is s cube. So your order is 3. So this is type 1 and order 3 system. So according to our basic rules, what we can say, if we take a graph like this, okay, this is t equal to 0, type 1, type 2 and type 1, type 2 and type 3. Okay, this is 0 and this infinity, this minus infinity, and it goes on. Okay, this is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. As I said before, okay, your type 0, type 1, type 2, type 3 implies the types and quadrant implies the order. Okay, so this is a type 1 system and order 3. So your graph will be something like, it will start from here, okay, and it reaches the 0 at quadrant 3. So your graph will be something like that. It should intersect the real axis at some point. We need to find what is this point. Okay, and we need to find the angles also, because when you're drawing a graph you should be very prescribed manner. Okay, so let's start doing that. Now step 1. Okay, step 1 is we need to write the equation in terms of omega. So need to do that, we need to put s equal to j omega in our transfer function. So this implies g of j omega is equal to 20 by j omega into, the actual thing is j omega plus 1 into j omega plus 2. We can rewrite this in this way, 20 by j omega into 1 plus j omega into 2 plus j omega. Okay, because to make it in the format of a plus jb, okay, this is a plus gb and this is a plus gb, so I am just rewriting this in this manner. Okay, now let's go. So this is step number 1. We have written this in omega format. Okay, so step number 2 is writing the equation in polar form. So what is that polar form? I'll tell you. Polar form is g of j omega modulus of g of j omega with angle of g of j omega. Okay, as we said, polar plot contains magnitude and phase angle in one plot together. So this is magnitude, okay, and this is the phase plot. Okay, so both together in one normal graph we need to take. So first of all, let us find the magnitude. Okay, so we really know g of j omega is given by, the magnitude is given by the square of real part plus the square of imaginary part. Okay, so let us write modulus g of j omega equal to, as given, 20 by omega, because I'm just taking j out of that, into real part is 1 square. Okay, so previously we have written 1 plus j omega, right? So this is 1 square plus omega square to the root into, for this is 2 square plus omega square. 2 is the real part, omega is the imaginary part. Okay, now let us solve this thing. So this is 20 by omega into whole root over, I can write 1 plus omega square, 2 square is 4 plus omega square. So this is modulus of g of j omega. Okay, so we got the magnitude for this one. Now we need to find the phase. So to find the phase, okay, let us take the equation again. Okay, I'll keep this side for your reference. So the equation is 20 by j omega. Okay, we can take this as one part. Okay, so 20 by j omega, so j omega is in the denominator, so s is in denominator, so we can write minus 90. Okay, this first, so phase, I'm writing the angle, so we can directly write like this, phase is equal to minus 90. Okay, so minus, so we have s terms in the denominator, so we have to write minus, because if they are numerator we have to write plus, if they are denominator we have to write minus. So 20 plus, now this is 1 plus j omega. So what is this 1 plus j omega? Okay, angle of j omega is given by tan inverse b by a. As it is in the Bode plot which I have said before. Okay, g of j omega is tan inverse b by a. So we have already written here a plus jb format. So for this is actually, it is minus tan inverse. Okay, it does not have any square. If it have a square, then it becomes 2 tan inverse. These don't have any square, so it is simply minus, as it is in the denominator, and is tan inverse. So tan inverse b by a. What is b here? B is omega, a is 1, because 1 plus j omega is in the format of a plus jb, so it is b by a means omega by 1. Okay, now for this term is again in the denominator, so it is minus, and we don't have any square, so it is simply tan inverse b by a. What is b here? A plus jb format. B is omega and a is 2, so b by a will become omega by 2. So this is the phase. Okay, now we got the magnitude and we got the phase together. Okay, now step number 3, a very important step. Okay, as the polar plot says, the omega will be vary from 0 to infinity. Okay, omega, your angular frequency varies from 0 to infinity. So we'll take two values. We'll take the first value, let omega equal to 0. We have to find the magnitude for this and the phase also for this. So magnitude with the formula given, and also the phase with the formula given for omega equal to 0. Now take another value directly infinity, because your omega varies from 0 to infinity. So for infinity also you need to find more magnitude and the phase. Okay, so we'll take the first one. For omega equal to 0, magnitude for omega equal to 0. Okay, just place this omega equal to 0 here. What happens? 20 by everything will be 0. So definitely this is 20 by 0 will become infinity. Okay, and what is this phase? Okay, put the phase here. omega equal to 0. So minus tan inverse, this becomes 0, 0. So angle will be like minus 90 minus tan inverse. This is 0. So this is 0. This is 0. When you put omega equal to 0, you have minus 90 here. So these are the coordinates what we are finding. For omega equal to infinity, okay, when you place infinity in the magnitude thing, okay, so 20 by infinity, that is 0, because if you place all infinity here, 20 by infinity, this will become 0. Okay, now put infinity in the place of omega here. So what happens? Minus 90 will be the as it is. Okay, so this infinity by 1 is infinity, and tan inverse infinity is pi by 2. Okay, we know tan inverse infinity is pi by 2, so this is definitely minus 90. Okay, and minus tan inverse of infinity by 2 is infinity, so tan inverse infinity is again pi by 2, which is 90. So minus 90 minus 90, it becomes minus 270. Okay, you should know the polar plot very clearly. Okay, then only you can go for the Nyquist plot. So these two are the coordinates. Now you need to see very clearly. Okay, at omega equal to 0, your modulus is infinity and your angle is minus 90. At omega equal to infinity, your magnitude is 0 and your angle is minus 270. Okay, so that is very like important while writing it. Okay, now we need to find the intersection point. So as I already said, we need to find the intersection point here. Okay, now let us find the intersection point with step 4. Okay, so with this, let me say you, for omega equal to 0, your magnitude is infinity, so infinity lies here. So for omega equal to 0, so your omega equal to 0 means infinity here and your angle is minus 90 here. Now for omega equal to infinity, your magnitude is 0. So this is 0. So here your omega to infinity, your magnitude is 0 and your angle is minus 270. So this is minus 270. So exactly we get here. See here, this is 0, this is minus 90, this is minus 100, this is minus 270. So the coordinates are getting real. So our sum is real. Now let us go to step number 4. So step number 4 is separating the real and imaginary part. For this, you need to multiply and divide with complex conjugate. I'll tell you it. So let us take the equation. What we got, g of j omega is equal to 20 by j omega into 1 plus j omega into 2 plus j omega. So this is the transfer function what we got, and when we kept j omega in terms of s, this is what. So complex conjugate means denominator, it in the denominator. So 1 plus j omega into 2 plus j omega, the complex conjugate becomes 1 minus j omega into 2 minus j omega. So you need to multiply and divide with this. Okay, now solve it. It's simple. This is equal to, when you solve this, what happens? This becomes minus 40 omega minus 20 omega. I already did for your reference. Okay, your denominator will be like 1 plus omega square into 4 plus omega square. Okay, if you multiply these two. Okay, from this you need to take the imaginary part and the real part. So from here, the imaginary part is which contains j. So this is your imaginary part. Okay, and what was your real part? The remaining is your real part. Okay, so your step number 5 is taking the imaginary part. So what is the imaginary part what we get? And you need to equate that to 0. Okay, so this implies j20 into omega square minus 2 by omega into 1 plus omega square into 4 plus omega square equal to 0. Okay, so if you solve it, what will happen? This, if you go that side, becomes 0. So it is simply You don't get a j here. Okay, never ever put j here, because the term j itself say it is imaginary, so you have to start with 20 into omega square minus 2. So what we left is 20 into omega square minus 2 equal to 0. Okay, so obviously it becomes like omega square equal to 2, omega equal to root 2. So this is what we got. The omega value is root 2. Okay, now you put this omega equal to root 2 in magnitude, okay, and phase together. Okay, magnitude means in real part actually. Okay, first of all we keep it in real part, then we'll go for the magnitude part. Put omega equal to root 2 in real part. So what is your real part here? Minus 40 omega minus 20 omega by omega into 1 plus omega square into 4 plus omega square. If you put root 2 here, what will happen? Minus 40 into root 2 minus 20 root 2 by, this is a root 2 into, writing directly, this is 4 plus 2. So that becomes like minus 84.852 by 25.45, that is your minus 3.33. So your real part, your cross section point on real axis is minus 3.33. Okay, now we'll put this omega equal to root 2 in phase and magnitude formula, what we get. So put omega equal to root 2 in magnitude and phase. So your magnitude formula we got already. This is your magnitude formula, g of j omega equal 20 by g of j omega. Okay, so if you put here, or here means the same actually. Okay, what we did. So if you put, then it will become minus 3.33 will get, and phase. So phase formula is this. So put omega equal to root 2 in this phase and you'll get the answer. Phi is equal to minus 90 minus tan inverse root 2 by 1 minus tan inverse root 2 by 2. Okay, if you solve it, you'll get an angle of so it's like minus 90 minus tan inverse root 2 minus tan inverse root 2 by 2. So this is like 1. So if you solve it, it becomes like 179.88, which phase is approximately equal to 180 degrees. Okay, so these are the values what we get. Okay, now basing on these values we will draw a graph. Okay, we have to take a normal graph. So I have taken a normal graph here. Okay, so in this graph, let us divide this graph into real axis and imaginary axis. Divide exactly into 4 quadrants. Okay, I'll use my pen. This is the center, which is the y-axis and which is imaginary axis, and this is the x-axis. So the x-axis, y-axis, which is imaginary, okay, and x is like real axis. Okay, so here this is obviously 0. Okay, the outer rings is all infinity, so this infinity, this is minus infinity, this is infinity again. Okay, and this is minus. Okay, so outer is all infinity. Okay, when you take this 0 degrees, when you're coming in a clockwise direction, this becomes minus 90, this becomes minus 180, this becomes minus 270. Okay, and this quadrant 1, quadrant 2, I'll write that also, quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. Okay, this type 0, type 1, type 2, type 3, I'll write that also, type 1, type 0, so we have to start type 0, type 1, type 2 and type 3. Okay, so at last we got these things. Okay, now we know that our graph will be as this is, I said previously before. Okay, as this is like a type 1 order 3, your graph will be like this. So obviously, now let us take in a real part what we have done. Okay, so we have found the coordinates, right? When we put omega equal to 0, okay, your magnitude is at infinity. So here is omega equal to 0. Okay, let me write with this pen. Here is omega equal to 0. Okay, and your phase angle is minus 90, which is minus 90 here. Exactly. Okay, and now omega equal to infinity. Omega, if we put omega to infinity, we got magnitude as 0. So this 0 means here is omega is infinity. Okay, when we put omega value as infinity, we got 0 as a magnitude, and your angle is minus 270. So this is minus 270. So that was the reason. What I am saying is like this. Your polar plot will start from infinity. It crosses the cross section point which we got as minus 3.33. See, the real point cross section what we got as minus 3.33, and the real axis from our imaginary, when we put the imaginary part g equal to g of g equal to 0 and put omega equal to root 2 in real part, we got this minus 3.33. Okay, so that was the real point axis here which is cutting here. So let me do that. Minus 3.33 is what? This is minus 1, this is minus 2, this is minus 3.33 will be here. So this is your 3.33. Okay, so minus 3.33. So now your graph will start like this. It cuts minus 3.33. Okay, and according to our coordinates, it should go up till minus 270, but it has to reach a 0. So what happens is, it starts from here at minus 90, it cuts this minus 3.33 real time axis, it goes up to minus 270 and comes to 0 again. I'm saying once again, please do remember, according to our coordinates, it starts at infinity at minus 90 degrees, starts at infinity at minus 90 degrees, it cuts the real time axis minus 3.33 what we get, okay, and then it has to go till 270 and reaches 0. So it goes till 270 and reaches the 0. So let us draw it. I'll use a red pen, it will be more clear. Okay, so according to our coordinates, I'll keep this side. Okay, so your real axis point, cross section point is minus 3.33 what we got before. So I kept this one aside. Okay, so first of all, omega equal to infinity, when you put omega to 0, your magnitude is infinity and minus 90. So it is reaching like this, and it has to cut the real time axis at minus 3.33. So it goes like this. It cuts at minus 3.33, very good, and then it has to reach till 270 and comes to 0 again. So I'm making this go till 270 and it has to come to 0. Okay, don't make it near to 0, just keep it like this, 0, simple, 0. Don't touch the 0, and here also don't touch, because we don't know where is infinity. Okay, just keep it like this. So this was your polar plot. Okay, it's very simple thing, and this was the magnitude is minus 3.33 what we get the magnitude. Okay, so this is the polar plot. If you have any doubts regarding polar plot, please do let me know, and I'll tell you another example also on polar plot in the next video. Okay, thank you. Signing off, Asha Mahi. Be home, be safe.